Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. It's an exciting day. We are doing another look at a new watch. And I gotta tell you, if I ask you to name all the watch companies out there and their watches, a few of you probably could rattle them off. But one that you may not have heard about for a long time was in this box. Yep, ZGPAX. That's quite a name, isn't it? And if you remember, if you look back in the early days of this channel, my very first one was a ZGPAX watch called the S8. And boy, I had a lot of fun with that one. We got a lot of videos and actually helped launch the channel. Then ZGPAX came out with a new watch called the S99. And this is how I actually store my watches. This is a little sticker I put on them so I can remember what they are. It's got its own little charging dock. And it was a sweet little watch. Camera, 2 buttons, nice, easy bezel. Don't know why we really never talked much about it other than the initial review. Well, today we're going to look at the new S99A. Should be in this box. What is it? It's a watch we're getting from Gearbest. Gearbest has this in pre-sale right now because this thing is brand spanking new. And we'll take a look at what it is. In the meantime, let's look at the specs. We have an Android 5.1 watch with 1 gigahertz quad core, half a gigabyte of RAM and 8 gigabytes of ROM. Good, healthy amount. All this kind of connectivity. The display, it's got a camera, it says, still 2.0 megapixel camera. We haven't seen much improvement in the cameras on these watches. It's of course a standalone Android watch with a SIM card slot and supporting all of this stuff here. The languages, additional features, and so forth. Kind of a different way of presenting their information too. All right, let's go in and see what we've got. Yes, that should open it enough that we can do this. All right. It does have a different face on it. It's got some numbers and things. Let's take it out of its little protective plastic. Padding in here. There's the watch. Wow. Wow, okay. Yeah, we'll do a comparison in just a second. First quick look, though, is to me, wow, that's a thick watch, man. There's the band. It's got looks like it could be removable. I don't think so. It's got the pins, though. Looks like I might have an IMEI number, so I'll keep my finger there. All right, let's set it aside. Come back to that one. What else have we got in the box? Oh, it's all in there pretty tight. Are we charging dock? Charging cable? What do we got? 2 things. We have the standard USB cable, it looks like. Yeah, nothing really fancy there. Okay. And in here, a screwdriver, is that what I'm seeing? And a dock. Okay, well, it's stuck to it. We have a screwdriver, which means we probably are going to be taking off the back to get the SIM card. There's no panel to take the back off. Charging is happening here with a dock, and then there's the heart rate monitor. And in here is the dock, which, just like on the other one, should just slap right on. Okay, so first thing, let's put them side by side as the Big Mac and the Grand Mac, right? Are they about the same thickness? Yeah, they look like they are. I never realized the original one was that thick, but without the dock, they're not going to appear quite that thick, I'm sure. You go over there, you go over there. And put them side by side. Same size screen, supposedly. This has its little cover on it. We'll move that. This is the new S99A, the original S99. Speaker is in the same place. And we know the band's not removable on this. So it's got it looks like it's pseudo pins. Microphone is here. It's the same case, folks. Look at that. Exactly the same case. Change in the bezel. This is silver. This is black. So maybe I've got the black version of the update and the silver version of the original. And this one in silver may or may not have the markings on it. I don't know. But what's important to notice is that there's no bezel on this either. And there wasn't on the first one. That wasn't a big concern before, but most all of the new ones are coming out pretty much bezel-less. No rise to a bezel. Okay. All right. The bands look like they're basically the same bands, too. Same kind of clip on here. This one's all sealed with plastic. All right, I'll clip that off later. But pretty much the same here. Everything's the same. So the difference must be internal in terms of hardware and software. Let's check it out. I'll charge them up. We do have a user's manual in the bottom of the box. Let's take a quick look at the user's manual on the S99A. Here we go. Nice in English. We have some drawings in here. There's the information on the charging dock. There's where the SIM card goes after you take the whole back cover off. So you have to unscrew it all. There's some pictures of the analog clock, it says. And shortcut, functions, menu, all in color. And we're English on this side too. All right. So this is one of those rare times we have a complete English manual. They've done a nice job of it in color. Okay. And just if you were curious, before we, come on, focus, there we go. Before we turn the watch on, let's take a look at those two docks. Oh, look, an update in February 2017. Possibly limited for different iOS versions in various countries and regions. All right, so I guess they having to use different software depending on the location. Well, I tossed them both over there, and it's a good thing they look like they're pretty much identical because I don't know which one came with which S99. So the docks are the same. The bodies look the same. So it really is an S99A, an update. All right, now we'll turn them on and compare them and check them out. Okay, I'm going to try to turn them on at the exact same time, and we'll see what the boot up is like. Here we go. Pressing, holding, and, well, there's a different start up. This has got the kind of the generic screen, and they've put their own ZGPAX logo on here. The original is booting faster, and got its sound. This one says it's starting the apps, and that one says it's starting. All right, they're pretty much tracking with each other with just a little bit different starting information. Hopefully this is the first time through it takes that long. All right, they booted pretty much simultaneously. That's good. Okay. Swiping down gives us that information, which is familiar on both of them. Swiping across is like that. And that looks all the same. And swiping across goes to our steps, right? So nothing different there, except that that's kind of a funny oblong, but I guess it's making space for the three little dots. Going back, and nothing else. So we're going down, and we've obviously different watch face right now. The notification screen, your app screen, your music screen, and nothing else. Then from here, this one's not on the internet yet, so we go up, and there's the weather. This one is, so I'm going to go up and show you the weather here. And so when you're connected to the internet, you get the weather information as well. Okay, let's go back and first of all, go into our settings, by golly, and change my display timeout from 15 seconds to, say, 30 minutes. Then it won't be popping out on me the whole time. On this one, I can go into settings, and we're just going to do a quick run through to see how they are the same or different. We have media volume. That's the old one. That's the new one. Loud. Alarm volume. Okay, ring volume. That's all the same. Nothing else has changed here. Turn off the vibrate, that eats battery power. Our display is brightness level, 30 minutes of inactivity. Put that on both of them. Whoops, I wanted to stay on display. While we're on display, whatever. Okay, 10 normal. That's plenty of time anyway. Here we go. The app style. You notice that's in matrix. This has matrix, list, and round. In the old one, you could actually have your apps displayed round like that. In the original, in the new A version, they've taken that away. That's one difference we're seeing. I'm going to actually do the app layout in a list because it's going to make it easier for us to track them all. Come back here. There, list on that one. And list on that one. But we're still in settings as we go through to connection. Display, app list, connect. And we got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, hotspot, airplane mode, GPS. Everything's identical. So you know you can watch the review of the original S99 and see all of these functions in detail if you want to. This is our wake up gesture stuff. Screen on raising, pedometer. The screen on raising, of course, is when you turn your arm, it'll show you the time briefly. And it's doing that with a digital display. Language and input. We have the same everything, don't we? Current keyboard. This has Google Voice typing, automatic. And this one, well, these are some of my other things I've installed in here too. So there's the Watch IME. So this is stock. And voice input and text-to-speech output. Oftentimes I like to go in here so you can hear the speaker.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English. This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
The speaker on the first original is a little louder.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English. This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
I don't know if you're able to pick that up with the automatic volume control on the camera or not, but my ears are picking up that the original is a little louder. Okay. Date and time should be the same. You can do it by network. You can have automatic time. You can set all of that stuff. You can set your time zone, business. That's all the same. Resetting the equipment should be the same. And it is. And uninstalling applications. See, I have a whole bunch of applications on this one. We have nothing in here yet. We'll do the Antutu and engineering mode and do all those and compare them here in a little bit. They both have this SOS key feature, which is not turned on yet, but that's for this bottom button. You press and hold, and you can do an automatic SOS call. So that feature's still here. So this is about the only thing we have left to look at, is what are we looking at? An S99 versus an S99A. They're both running Android 5.1, the same security information. Baseband, 2016, July 29th, July 14th. And the kernel is December the 8th of 2016 versus July 20th, 2016. But all these could be updated through firmware, and I haven't even tried to see if there's a new firmware update yet for this. And the build number. So, in terms of the system settings, there's really no major difference between the two. So what about the stock apps? Contacts, phone, browser, those are all standard. Gallery, because we have the camera itself, come back in a minute. Remind, for when you're tethering, I guess, to remind you when you're connected to the phone. Your weather app, a basic sound recorder, calendar, Play Store, clock, voice search, maps, music, pedometer, your file manager. Let's take a look in here. So here you see a big difference, well, a little difference. You see that you have available 5.16 gigabytes of space in the new one. You had 4.25 gigabytes available in the original. So somehow they freed up some more space, so you have a little bit more memory to work with. The used portion, of course, is going to be different because I have more apps and things on this one. So they're both still 8 gigabyte watches. Your health area, which should have your heart rate and your remind. And both of them have the heart rate sensor, the 2-diode kind. So that doesn't look like it's been changed. Okay. And then there's the reminder, which is your sedentary reminder information. The pedometer's in a different area. Usually those two are together. Okay, and that's it. Then all these other things are things that I have installed on the original one that aren't on this one. So I'm going to take some time, put this on the internet, bring in the Antutu so we can do the benchmarking, the engineering mode MTK so we can check out the GPS, and another one that'll give us a little bit deeper look at the memory configuration on these watches. I'll be right back. All right, and getting everything set up, I had to pull this little screen protector off because I just could not slide effectively on here. I think there was one originally on the original one, and I took it off on that one as well. They just don't work for me. So, first of all, I know I'm going to do all the Antutu and everything, but let's start here. I am on the last of the watch faces all the way to the right, because there are a couple of new ones on the new version, but let's parade through just the thumbnails. If you want to see these big, go back to the review of the original S99, getting them all confused, and you can see each of these watch faces made big, because they are identical across the board. Wow, it's a little washed out right now. That's a white one. The brightness is a little too much in its standard format. That's why I like to install the app Display Brightness, because it allows you to easily incrementally adjust the brightness to whatever level you want. And especially for shooting video, it makes it really nice and convenient. Okay, I'm getting strong backlighting or reflections off of them as well. Very shiny. Okay, that's it. Now, on the original, I'm done. So these are the new ones, PDG, that are showing up on the S99A that are not on the original. And I think there's 3 of them. And they're nothing really to write home about, Earth and Moon, and it's just digital time. So the stock watch faces are pretty lame. They're just a picture with a digital display. And that's it on this one as well. So let's check out some of the test results. The Antutu benchmark is the first one. I've actually already run this on both of them. On the original, we have 15.328 and 15.312. That's like within noise level. So they basically have the same overall speed result from the benchmark, which makes sense because they're running the same processor and have the same memory on board, it appears. All right, so when we come back out of here, we can go down here to our engineering mode MTK. This is what we use to check out the GPS. I'm going over to location and activating that to come up here to GPS and turn GPS on. GPS and turn GPS on. This one's already been tested before. This one hasn't, so I have to go in and activate the high accuracy and agree to all of that. But now I can turn GPS on. We can go into the view mode, and that's popped up the satellites. There they are on this one, but we have no data whatsoever down below. So I'm going to step outside, wave these in the air, and see if we can actually pick up some satellites. Usually I have to do that the first time. Once it's acquired them, then somehow it seems to be able to track them and lock on it a little bit easier. So I'll be right back. Well, here's an interesting finding. You see the difference? The new S99A locked up pretty much right away when I went outside. The original isn't locking up at all. I can't get any satellites waving it around or anything. But the new one has definitely picked them up. So either now I've got a defective GPS in the original, or they've done some improvements to either the hardware or software or both to give us a good GPS. And it's staying pretty solid right now, just sitting here indoors, which is really good. If you watched the review on the new Limfo LES1, you saw that it had this kind of results in the GPS, really strong, even indoors. So maybe there's been some tweaking of GPS technology over time. Slowly starting to drop out now. And if I put this on my arm, hey, you guys haven't even seen it on yet, have you? Okay, there it is on. It's attractive. It's got more of a kingware kind of a look to it now with that big bezel with all the numbers and things popping out, which is understandable since the KW88 is one of the hottest watches out there, that they'd try to kind of mimic that look and feel, but bezel-less, there's no bezel edge. But it's holding GPS lock. So other than the loss of the round way of displaying the apps on this new version, the biggest significant difference is the strength and presence of the GPS lock. That's good to know. All right, one more thing to show you. Now, finally, let's take a look at what we've actually got in here. Let's go into System and compare. And I'm pretty much just going to put these next to the camera for you to read. You see, this is the S99A. One of the interesting things is what's going on in memory. So we're looking at memory of 512 megabytes, right? And internal storage of 58-ish. Total storage, everything looks identical there. You got a whole bunch of processes and things going on. That's about it. Okay, come over to this panel, and we're looking at the MediaTek, the architecture. I guess looking for differences. I'm not sure why this puppy's coming in as an A, other than, like we said, the GPS seems to be doing stronger and some minor changes to the firmware. By the way, I did do an offline check on the firmware for both of them, and the old one is saying it's the latest version, which is interesting. The newest one just spins. It's not letting me do an update check. So it probably shipping with the latest firmware and doesn't need an update yet. That's the display information. They're the same, 360 by 360. And I guess a whole bunch of stuff we don't really need to get into. Telephony, battery, and Android version with the baseband and other things. I think we're looking at pretty much the same watch. Maybe they just did a second run of reproducing them. Or maybe they just decided to change the bezel. And this one's getting low battery. So I guess we're just about done with our testing here. In terms of the watch itself, this is a ZGPAX S99A watch. It's coming to us from Gearbest. It's in pre-launch right now. It's probably replacing the original, and if you're interested, check it out. We'll have a buying link in the show notes down below and guide you right over there, and hopefully have a coupon, although it's on pre-sale right now, so usually the coupons kick in after it's been out for a while. Anyway, check it out. If this is of interest to you, if you like the way it looks, it might be the watch of your dreams, or at least another addition to your portfolio. We'll see you again soon.